At the least, Castle Black is safe again after we took care of Godric's hirelings. But he could have turned some of our brothers, Jor. And we still don't know which ones.
Adam Flowers is responsible for leading the investigation and flushing out any traitors amongst them.
A witch hunt. No good will come of that.
I dislike this situation as much as you do, Moors, but we have no choice. I trust Adam. He will use discretion and wisdom. Just ask him if you need to know what the status is.
Very well. And what of the imposter?
John Arryn's death, the arrival of this girl, and the men from the south. These can't be coincidences. In my opinion, the imposter is nothing but a pawn. Everything leads me to believe that he works for someone more important. But we won't let them get away with it. The Night's Watch will hunt him down and make him pay.
Unfortunately, our power is limited to the gift. The law is clear. The Night's Watch must stay out of the realm's affairs. Otherwise, we ourselves will be considered traitors to the crown.
Rest assured, Moors. I don't intend to be known as the Lord Commander who led the Night's Watch to its ruin. We will stay out of Westeros politics. We just need to settle our own affairs. Someone brought us into this by sending these mercenaries to our territory and corrupting our sworn brothers. We must be cautious. One misstep, and Castle Black could pay dearly. But the message must be clear. No one attacks us without paying the price. Moors, I need you to follow their trail. Thus, I am naming you as a recruiter of the Night's Watch. In this capacity, you will be able to leave the gift and act freely. This letter, bearing my seal, will prove your good faith to those who might doubt your word. Your mission will be to find the guilty parties and punish them in our name.
Hunt down and eliminate. Understood. What do you plan to do with the girl?
Perhaps I can go with Sir Mors on his journey. The North does not seem as safe to me as it once was.
I agree. Besides, since you're the one the impostor is after, and he knows where to find you, you are no longer safe here.
The Lord Commander is right. Jon Arryn entrusted this mission to me. I will not fail his memory.
Patrick will accompany you to the border of the gift. He has already proven his loyalty. As for me, I will put together an escort of our most trustworthy men. They will meet you near Molestown. Moors, you might cross paths with Sir Godric's impostor and his men. Be alert.
I have every intention of crossing paths with him. The two of us have a matter to settle.
May the old gods speed you. The perils of the Seven Kingdoms are as dangerous to a sworn brother's body as they are to his soul. But I have faith in you. You will succeed.
Well then, let us get Patrick. He must be downstairs.
I'm with you.
Patrick, we're leaving for Molestown, and I need someone I can trust. You're coming with me.
You want to go back? There will still be enemies there.
Exactly. I need to know who sent them. At the moment, my only lead to find that out is the imposter. I'll find the rat and get him to talk. And I'll be sure to rid the gift of that traitor and all his henchmen.
Very well. Give me time to get my things and I'll come with you.
Sir Westford? Isn't it risky for me to go back there with you? After all, it's me that the men are after.
As long as you're with me, you'll be fine. Trust me, lass. I won't let anyone lay a finger on you.
Very well. I left my belongings with Sybil when we left Molestown. If I can, I should like to get them before we leave the North.
We'll be passing there anyway. As soon as we get the chance, we can go to your room.
Thank you.
All is well. I'm ready.
Let us go then.
Good day to you, Moors. You wouldn't by any chance have some work for me there in your pouch?
I haven't forgotten you, Walder.
Show me.
This should interest you.
It would seem this is the mother. Blessed may she be. I will restore all her soft beauty, believe me. She has always been my favorite.
In memory of your woman?
In memory of all women. No man will ever be able to understand their suffering, nor will they ever love like a mother loves her child.
Adam, the Lord Commander told me that you could need help with your inquiry.
That's right. Another bloody chore for me. That'll teach me to be the smart one amongst our brothers.
This is serious, Flowers. Some of our brothers betrayed their oath and tried to kill me.
I know full well how serious this is, but I've never had to sort out a problem like this. I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
What do you have to go on at the moment?
I've examined your 3 victims, Theomar, Dick, and Veon. Those 3 were messed up all right, but each of them had received 20 silver stags for their betrayal. There's little doubt that such a sum came from Donnelly.
That's highly likely. Any clues as to who else might have accepted the offer?
The only way of knowing would be to question every brother who might have met our visitors while they were staying at Castle Black.
I shall have to talk to them all then. And maybe my hound can find an interesting trail. What else can you tell me?
I believe I've identified all the suspects. We've gathered them all here and blocked off all means of access. I thought we could leave them all to stew a bit, just to see what happens.
Adam, what can you tell me about our crippled crows?
The traitors we're looking for at Castle Black are brothers who will have had direct dealings with Donnelly, and were prepared to betray their oath for gold. First of all, there's Jonas. He's always had a flair for shady dealings. He's drawn to strangers and their gold, like a moth to a flame. I'm sure he's made a deal or two with our visitors one way or another. He's the one who worries me the most. More surprisingly, there's Grants. The old man spent quite a lot of time with our visitors. I've learned that one of your rangers, Bartram, had been up to no good with these strangers. I've summoned him along with the others. Lastly, we have the inseparable Arthur and Trebor. Arthur is the smarter of the two, and has always taken care of his friend, as you probably know already.
Anyone else?
We're missing one final suspect. Domeric disappeared from Castle Black. We think he's already fled. He probably found out everything that was going on before you wrote your report. What's strange to me is that there are no horses missing from the stables.
He'll be caught with ease by our rangers, or by House Stark if need be. I will try to separate the wheat from the chaff amongst those we have already.
I'm glad I can count on you, Moors. I've never had to handle such a delicate business. I hear many rumors of your ability to see and hear things without being caught. If you can use this gift to help me, I'd be much indebted to you. Moors?
Let's return to this business of yours.
What do you want to speak about?
Have you added Bartram to the list of suspects?
Of course.
What is he accused of?
He accompanied Sir Godric Donnelly to the top of the wall to show him what it looks like on the other side. Who knows what was said up there? I'd rather keep him here. Just because he was your ward doesn't mean we should rule him out.
I see.
I'm only doing my job, Sir Moors. Any other questions?
Let's move on to the others.
What do you want to speak about?
What could Grants have done to end up on your list?
It seems Godric Donnelly really enjoyed his company.
It's hard to imagine Donnelly taking the trouble to bribe an old man like Grants. The man can barely stand.
The old man knows a lot. He saw us all arrive at the wall. He knows our weaknesses. Who better to have pointed Godric to the brothers with the easiest heads to turn?
You're not wrong, but that doesn't mean that it's true.
He spent lots of time with Godric and his men when they visited. He claims he did nothing wrong, but I don't trust him. Any other questions?
Let's move on to the others.
What do you want to speak about?
The King of Rats of Castle Black is on your list. I'm not surprised.
Indeed. He's the obvious suspect.
Were you able to flush out that sly fox? Or are you keeping him here on a hunch?
You'd be better asking me what I didn't find on him. No one has rotted so long in the dungeons of the Night's Watch since the 79 centuries. He was with Donnelly's men all the time they were here. He must have heard something. Or perhaps worse. I've still not been able to break him, but it won't be long now. However sly he is, he's stuck here with the others. Any other questions?
Let's move on to the others.
What do you want to speak about?
You told me that the two inseparable friends might be traitors?
Yes, along with Theomar, they were responsible for looking after our visitors when they were here. And you have already personally dealt with Theomar.
They were responsible for taking care of our visitors during their time here. Is that it?
Trebor is a half-wit. A child could get the better of him. I trust Arthur more, but he'd do anything for his friend. Did you know that he only joined the Night's Watch to keep an eye on him?
So I've heard. Trebor had broken the arm of some knight for insulting his sister. If it weren't for Arthur to look after him, he wouldn't have survived here.
A friendship like that is admirable, but it can fool you. They'll stay here until I know what to make of them. Any other questions?
There are some facts that I need to check. I'll be back soon.
Take your time. With this sort of business, it's best to be certain. Fire, they eat our bread, and yet they still dare to look down.
I'm telling you, calm down and relax, else we'll be spotted.
But I can't stay calm. We need to talk about it.
We can't. I've told you. By the 7th, trust me.
Sorry, it's just... I feel so bad about it.
We'll get through this. I'll see to it. But you've got to keep your big mouth shut. Understood?
Yes, Arthur. Sorry.
Shut your mouth!
All three of us know that you've got something on your conscience.
I don't know what you're talking about, Morse.
You know as well as I that Trebor will never learn to keep his mouth shut. In any case, dark matters always come back to the surface, no matter how deep you bury them.
He knows.
Idiot.
What was I saying? That was too easy. Spit it out!
It was an accident, all right?
That'll be for me to decide. Continue.
Domeric came to see us, just after our visitors turned up. His pockets were well lined. He tried to get us to join Sir Donnelly. He told us they needed some proper swordsmen.
That treacherous bastard. I taught him a lesson.
Trebor is hot-headed, but he's a good lad. He just wanted to show that disloyal shit where he could shove his offer. That bloody fool Domeric tried to defend himself, and things got out of hand. It all got nasty after that. Before we could explain the situation to Mormont, you came back from your mission, and there was total chaos. We thought it better to stay quiet and pretend it never happened. We hid his body in the snow, in the old outbuildings. I swear, we would have tried to tell you as soon as everything had calmed down.
It's not my decision to make. I have to turn you in to Flowers.
No, I don't want that again.
Calm yourself, Trebor. Calm yourself. There's naught else we can do now. He was condemned to the wall for defending his sister against a knight. And now he will be condemned for defending the honor of our brotherhood? Please, Morse. Don't do it. He'll never get over this.
I see. Well, I'll be blind to it this one time.
Really? I swear by the gods, Morse, we're in your debt. You can ask anything of us. Anything at all.
Did you see anything that might be of interest to me?
Well, There might be something. Ever since that accident, I've kept my eyes open. And I did notice something strange. When everyone was gathered in the common hall, Flowers posted guards at the doors.
To keep you out. What's strange about that?
The strange thing was that I saw one of the guards speaking with one of the suspects.
All right, who was it?
They had their hoods up, so I couldn't tell. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but when you came to question us, I remembered that it seemed a little suspicious.
Sir, no name. Well, I knew it wouldn't be that simple.
I'm sorry I couldn't be more help to you, Moors. It shan't be easy to follow such a poor trail.
Don't trouble yourself with it. I'm used to such problems. If there are traitors amongst us, they'll not reveal themselves gladly. But I have ways.
I'd quite like to see my family too.
Bartram, we need to talk.
Moors, that black-hearted Flowers is accusing me of treason again.
Several brothers spent time with Donnelly and his men when they were here.
Aye. I heard about Theomar and his two friends, those half-witted brothers. What idiots. I wonder where they were hoping to flee.
Because Godric didn't offer you anything?
He didn't. I didn't even speak to that knight. I can't abide arrogant men like that. If I wanted to dishonor myself, I wouldn't be so stupid as to do it so close to Castle Black. And where would I go? South?
You're a good ranger. Always vigilant.
Thank you for the compliment. But I owe everything to you.
Can you tell me anything about the other suspects?
You mean apart from Trevor seeming even more on edge than usual? He's usually quite the nervous man, but he's become damn dangerous. Something's not right, if you ask me.
I will look into that. Anything else to add?
Jonas seems to be having a run of luck recently. He gave credit to several brothers, which is unlike him.
I will see if all this leads to anything.
I really don't know how you're doing it, Jonas. Strangers come and go, and there you are with so much coin even your shit is flecked with gold. How do you do it?
Shut your mouth, or I'll shut it for you. I've done nothing wrong. Stop drawing attention to me, you hear?
Relax, it's of no consequence to me anyway. I don't want to get involved.
The last time someone stuck their nose into my affairs, I ended up swearing the oath of the Night's Watch.
So you're not happy with what's come of that? All these good friends?
You've really made a name for yourself recently, Butcher. No good comes from coming up against you.
I've heard you've become quite wealthy in the past few days. I'd like to know where all that coin is coming from.
My wages don't bring in all that much. Just something to pass the time, really. Don't believe every rumor you hear. Except the ones about the size of my manhood, of course.
I thought you were too clever to be outwitted. Why did you accept the offer from that rat Godric?
I didn't accept anything, but I was happy to take gold from that group of half-wits.
Do you deny receiving gold from Godric Donnelly?
Oh no, I don't deny anything. I gladly relieved that arrogant bunch of knights of their coin. Dice, cards, small wages. I did very well.
He didn't propose anything to you personally? Maybe for a favor?
I make a deal now and again, but that's it. I'm definitely not getting involved in the affairs of lords. That never ends well.
I know what you might think, Moors, but I promise you I'm telling the truth. I pocketed his coin, and that was it.
Let's see what Mormont and Flowers think of all this.
If they start poking their beaks into who owes me what, they're going to find things they really won't like.
The other crows trust me. I'm the one in charge of our little unspoken dealings here. Just favors exchanged between good friends.
If the hierarchy stick their beaks in, I'll become the beggar everyone spits on. Years of dealings will all be for naught.
How do I convince you I'm true to my word?
What are you suggesting, Jonas?
Listen, I will show you something I've never shown anyone else. Just give me a moment to find it.
Don't even think of leaving.
It's in the common hall. My stash is right under the Lord Commander's nose. I will show you everything I have.
These are my life spoils, Moors. If you take a look, you might understand why I'll never leave this place.
All I can see is evidence of your greed.
Wait. Let me explain to you how it works. Most of our brothers will never be able to settle their debts with me, but I'm not really interested in their coin.
All they're losing to me is the power which I can hold over them in exchange for favors. It makes my life a little easier.
3/4 of the brothers here at Castle Black owe me favors right now. You can't even begin to imagine how long this took me. I have a role here, a position, a good position. I'm too old to find my place elsewhere. All of my cards are now on the table. No tricks, no weighted dice, no lies to fool you. I've told you all I can.
If you have anything else to tell me, it's now or never.
Well, I'm not sure of this, but Grants came to see me earlier. He wanted a place in the next game, but I refused because he's up to his eyeballs in debt.
And?
And he paid off his debts just like that, in one go. Years of debt settled all at once.
I think he owes me an explanation.
All the same, don't go too hard on him. He's had a tough time for longer than all of us put together.
I'm too old for all of this. Never again will I look for trouble like that. I swear it. The gods bear witness, I won't try that again. What trouble?
Grant's old friend. How long have you been at the wall, old man?
My boy, you'd be better off asking me if I've ever lived anywhere else.
I actually came to ask you something else.
I'd bet a night in a whorehouse that you've come to talk about treason, Moors. I've already spoken to Adam. He's a good lad. A shame he's so serious. What can a wrinkled old man do to help you, my boy?
Why don't you tell me about your debts?
Is that bastard Jonas still asking for coin? I've paid it all back to him, I swear.
That's the problem. Everyone knows you can't stop gambling, and you have the least credit in the entire castle. How could you hope to pay off that much without anyone noticing?
I didn't think it would get out of hand, Moors. You have to believe me.
That's all I ask, old man.
It's true that he gave me some gold, but he didn't ask me to do anything wrong. We talked about this and that, and about what life was like here. He later asked me about his other sworn brothers. He got me to talk about you as well. I told him about how you ended up at the wall.
What did he want?
I don't know. He seemed a bit disappointed with your story. Yet I usually tell it so well.
Did you talk about anyone else?
A little about Thiomar, and of course that sly fox Jonas as well. And then about one of your rangers, Bartram, I think. I thought he just wanted to spend time in the warmth, talking with good old Grants.
You may well have to tell all this to Flowers, but I believe you, Grants.
I should hope so. Thank you, my boy. I don't know what Mormont will have in store for me, but I'm sure it will be deserved.
Westford, what in the seven hells are you doing here?
Why did you leave your post? What are you sticking your nose into instead of watching this exit? What were you doing, Gawain?
I have the right to stretch my legs. Why don't you mind your own affairs?
Show me what you were doing in there.
Nothing that concerns you. Go back to where you came from, Moors. Consider that a friendly piece of advice.
You were charged with watching the doors, is that right? Can you explain why you were filling Bartram's bag with supplies while under orders to watch the doors?
Damn! You were not supposed to see that.
What now?
And yet look what I found, thanks to your friend Gawain.
Shit.
A bag full of Godric supplies and gold. How do we explain that?
What's the good in denying it? We were planning on taking advantage of the other deserters. Those fools would have fled straight for the south, with your dogs hot on their heels. With Donnelly's gold, we could have bribed the sentries and had time to disappear.
While you two went up into the wildlands, right?
You know the wildlings as well as I do, Moors. A brave man with a sword can carve out a good life for himself over there. I'm fed up with freezing my rosy ass to defend a kingdom that doesn't give a damn about us. We're as good as dead here.
We've taken an oath. We are the Watchers on the walls.
And what oath was that? To never fuck another woman? To die lonely and miserable? You don't even give a damn that all this is a lie, Moors. So now what?
The old bear will decide your fate.
Horseshit! There's only one punishment for what I've done. I won't let myself end up like Gorold.
Are you resisting arrest?
I bloody well am. At least the gods are giving me a chance to end with a fight.
Moors?
Let's return to this business of yours.
What do you want to speak about?
Have you added Bartram to the list of suspects?
Of course.
The guard you posted by the kitchens was one of our traitors. Gawain was planning to desert with the help of Bartram.
After all these years spent at the wall, nothing should surprise me anymore.
Bartram had accepted the would-be Donnelly's gold, and Gawain was collecting supplies for him.
I would never have been able to follow such a thin trail. My sincere congratulations, Moors. You do your reputation justice. Given the severity of their crime and their temperament, I presume that arresting them wasn't easy.
You're right. They attacked me and fought to the bitter end. It's a shame they chose to wage their final attack against me.
You've gone way beyond my expectations by seeing through their treachery. Let's hope these drastic measures have stopped the rot from spreading. Any other news?
Let's move on to the others.
What do you want to speak about?
What could Grants have done to end up on your list?
It seems Godric Donnelly really enjoyed his company.
Our Brotherhood is going to have trouble coming to terms with what I'm about to tell you. Grants accepted gold from Donnelly.
But what could he do with that? He's even older than Mormont.
He did not do anything against the Night's Watch, but he needed coin to settle his gambling debts.
So did he not commit any acts of treason?
He was aware of the attempted bribery, but did not mention it to the commanders. He was unaware what Donnelly was up to. He thought it was something less serious, but instead of revealing this, he blackmailed him and got even more coin.
It is indeed a crime, but we're talking about Grants. I don't know what to do. I swear in the name of the gods, I owe my life to the old man.
Brothers have died because that piece of scum decided to keep his mouth shut. That's an act of treason.
I know that only too well, Moors. Justice will be done. Any other news?
Let's move on to the others.
What do you want to speak about?
The King of Rats of Castle Black is on your list. I'm not surprised.
Indeed. He's the obvious suspect.
Look what I've got my hands on.
Gods be good. You found Jonas's hiding place. I've been looking for it forever.
There are hundreds of names on these parchments, and a generous amount of copper groats and other small coin.
But no silver stags?
No. You look disappointed, Adam.
That little wretch is going to slip through our net again. If we can't link him to Donnelly, then he'll be found innocent. Let me have a quick look at his hoard. There must be evidence he's stolen from our stores in there. I'll have him arrested and questioned.
This belongs to Jonas and should be given back to him. Besides, you owe him a small fortune, if I read it correctly.
What do you want, Moors?
For you to leave him be for now, until I'm done with him. And in any case, the coin is his.
At least you stayed honest. I give you that. But one day I'll get that old thief. Any other news?
Let's move on to the others.
What do you want to speak about?
You told me that the two inseparable friends might be traitors?
Yes. Along with Theomar, they were responsible for looking after our visitors when they were here. And you have already personally dealt with Theomar.
Domeric did not flee. Trebor killed him, and, as usual, Arthur felt obliged to protect him.
How did that happen?
He had been bribed by our guest to turn the heads of other brothers, but he picked the wrong target. Trebor beat him to death when he came to see them, with his pockets full of gold and his mouth spouting treason.
Idiots. They should have told us.
Trebor is an idiot, but he's a good servant of the Night's Watch. Arthur just wanted to protect his friend.
I see what you're getting at. I agree. I'll think about how to present this to the old bear. We'll find something that isn't conclusive. We'll whip them, of course, and then they'll be transferred to the Shadow Tower. That way their skills won't go to waste. It might be enough to convince the Lord Commander. Thank you for your help. My thanks for taking care of that. It had to be done. I'm relieved we could separate the wheat from the chaff, whatever the cost.